Somewhere in the mountains of South America is a group of teenagers. Teenagers with guns who belong to the so-called organization. That's the basic setup here, that's the premise this one's going with. It doesn't tell you who they are or what exactly they're doing there. That's for you to slowly discover as the movie progresses. But let's just say that Julianne Nicholson's character is involved in the plot in a fairly significant way. Now, when it comes to the tone here, it starts off with a fair amount of humor. It has a little bit of a darkly comedic lean to it as these kids goof around and have fun. You know, since there's not a whole lot of adult supervision going on in their little camp. And I really liked that, it gave the movie kind of a fun and light feel to it. Unfortunately, that pretty quickly starts to fade, and by the end of it, there's not a whole lot of humor left at all. And I'm not really sure what this movie was actually going for, tonally, because I wouldn't call it very consistent or cohesive in that sense. And I would definitely not call this a comedy, which one might think it is based on the first few minutes. And I honestly think they should have stuck with that one single tone throughout. And just kept that kinda quirky, darkly comedic thing going the whole way through. Which, to be fair, it sorta did in that there were still funny moments here and there. But it's just nowhere near as prevalent as it was in the beginning. Or, you know, they could have just made it a straight up drama too from the get-go. Which I obviously think would have been a mistake as well. But at least it would have been more consistent. So yeah, I didn't love how they handled the tone in this. But on the other hand, I didn't hate it either. It wasn't a massive issue. What I did absolutely love about this though was the cinematography, because it's absolutely stunning. This is easily one of the best looking movies I've seen in the past year. And to be completely honest, the tone aside, I didn't really have a whole lot of concrete issues with this movie as a whole either. But my biggest problem was that it never really clicked for me either, you know? I never got completely immersed in it, and I never really got all that invested. And I was trying to figure out why that was, and came to the conclusion that I think it's just the characters and the way they're dealt with. Because you never really get to know any of them all that well, it's more of a surface level thing. You're never really told the story from any one particular perspective. As a viewer, you have more of a wider view of the whole scenario. And you watch it all play out from a bit of a distance, you never get inside any of the characters' heads. You never really know what's going on with them or what they're thinking. And I feel like there's sort of a lack of character development as well. And I say sort of because there is some character development. But again, because I felt a bit removed from the characters, even that didn't feel nearly as impactful as it should have. That being said, this thing did eventually pick up a bit of steam. Toward the very end it actually got exciting and I got a lot more interested in what was going on. Unfortunately, that was in my opinion too little too late to really make an impact. And overall, I just didn't really think the plot was all that special either. It's very bare bones and serviceable, but definitely nothing remarkable. And if you only have a simple plot like that, you really need to sell me on the characters to keep me engaged and interested, but as I already said, it didn't really do that. So what you got here then is a very basic plot with a bunch of characters that are kinda hard to engage with. And I guess that's why it never really ended up clicking with me. But at the same time, I didn't really dislike this either. I was just sorta neutral about the whole thing. Because the things I complained about didn't actively bother me. They just more like prevented me from enjoying this as much as I should have. And as I said, there is a bit of humor in this, but I wish there would have been more of it. And the characters were fun too, there just didn't appear to be all that much depth to them. But yeah, overall, this is a stunning looking and fairly unique movie. I mean, I don't remember seeing a premise quite like this before. But for whatever reason, it didn't quite work for me personally. However, would I recommend it? I mean, it's not a bad movie. So you might want to give it a shot, or, you know, don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.